morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today is August 1st, 2019. And today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, later this afternoon out of Great Britain, official bank rate decision coming out. That's a major decision. Yesterday we had the FOMC. Today we have GBP, and tomorrow we have an FP. So just be aware that now later after that, okay, right after that, 1:30 South African time, Bank of England Governor Carney will be speaking in relation to that bank decision as the GBP has gotten broken down. Now, looking at the Forex markets, U.S. dollar gets stronger across the board, namely because the FOMC cut rates yesterday, and that's raising some red flags. And as a result as well, the Dow Jones sold off sharply over 300 points on the FOMC rate decision. We'll look at it technically speaking. Just remember, tomorrow's the NFP. Okay, so there are other reasons besides the economy slowing down that the Federal Reserve would actually cut interest rates. So they may be staving off some deflation issues as that actually is foreseen. Okay, so with that said, let's look at commodities. Commodities pretty much, gold fails to break higher, interestingly enough, which I would have expected gold to actually break higher. And sure enough, it didn't on that ascending wedge formation. And oil chases at resistance right there. Great, easy trade right there. And lastly, looking at stocks, Apple beat its estimates. And not only does it beat its estimates, it guides higher. So it's a little bit of a, mixed kind of feeling yesterday with the market selling off and the Dow Jones, but Apple being up so much during the day, but also looking like it's going to close the gap. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So let's see what we can expect from today's trading.
This conference will now be recorded.
So look at this at the Euro USD. At 111, we were trading yesterday and we were really hovering with the support line, and I've been mentioning this several times. We finally broke below it, and you finally get that move. Okay, I mentioned last week we get these little trickles during the summer, and then we get a big move. And today was that, yesterday, excuse me, was that big move. We're trading at 110, so we really have to look at a weekly chart to see where the next support level is. 110-ish flat is really the next support level. Beyond that, it's really choppiness and 108-ish, 109-ish, somewhat in that area. But it's clear that we're making a correction here on the Euro USD. I would expect this 111.25 to be our next resistance level if we do bounce off of it. Now, looking at this GBP with this massive news coming out later today. We mentioned this yesterday in the webinar. We broke this last week. This is really the impetus that's been breaking us lower against the dollar with the new prime minister, with Brexit or hard Brexit, easy Brexit, however you want to cut it. It's not going to look pretty. Okay, so this is breaking down further. Now, if we break down from this level, 121.15, we can definitely see ourselves making new lows for the year. Okay, so the Bank of England's responsibility here is to somewhat balance the economy in England with Brexit, which is a very difficult job if you ask me. So with that said, okay, if we do, however, have some positive news coming out later today, then we can see ourselves bouncing quite sharply. Okay, and with that said, because a lot of people short this, and in these type of situations when there's some panic on the upside, we may see that short squeeze actually forward. So it's not by not, okay, that we find ourselves at this, major level as this major news is coming out for England. So just be aware that is that coming out later today. Now, looking at the Aussie dollar also breaking down here versus the USD at that bottom range again, trading at 68.48, massive incline. This is tremendous, okay? You can't write this stuff up, okay? These two levels, okay, the upper limit at 70.38-ish level and the lower limit at 68-ish level, I've had for quite a while, okay? And this is really easy type of trading, shorting the top, covering at the bottom or buying the bottom. In this case, I would not do that because we broke our support at 66. And we're really testing that low. So I'd like to see a confirmation across the board for the US dollar if that actually rates. I'm jumping into gold. This is what I'm talking about yesterday. We set this up. This is an ascending wedge formation, okay? In a regular wedge formation, we do expect some sort of extreme move in one way or another, okay? And wedge formations are, 1 in a million, okay? They're so common. It's not 1 in a million. I mean that they're very, very common, that every time I set one up, there's always an extreme move that actually happens through either the upside or the downside. In this case, we failed it at 14.30 1430-ish level, and we couldn't bounce above it, and that meant that we were going to take it lower, and sure enough, we're trading at 1405, a sell-off of over 30 points from yesterday. So with that said, okay, we're testing the lows. So in essence, this is really just testing a new trading range, okay, right between that area at about 1400 flat and 1430-ish, okay. So with that said, I do expect it to bounce above this 1400. If it doesn't, then we could see itself going back to 1390-ish level. Now looking at oil, this is another one on our Fibonacci retracement. It couldn't break higher at the 58.40-ish level and sold off to 57.90. Not a big move, but something that is actually notable. Okay, now lastly, looking at Dow Jones. Okay, this is really the debacle of yesterday. We're looking at let's look at a 4-hour chart just to give us a perspective here. We were trading in this area for quite some time. Let's take this out for a second, just to have it clear. We were trading between this 27,365-ish area, okay, and this 27,100-ish area for quite some time, almost a week and a half, and really not know where we're going to go, higher or lower. And finally, we broke lower yesterday, okay, with this FOMC rate cut decision. Okay, now what are we going to do now? Tomorrow's NFP, we're bouncing here at 26,700-ish level. I would have expected it to hold the 27,000 level, but it didn't. Okay, so with that said, we may see a bounce later today. We may see a sell later today, but I know that they're going to be looking forward to this NFP number that's going to come out, because if it's really good, the markets are just wanting to sustain themselves. Okay, and they will test their highs. Now looking at Apple, it couldn't maintain its gap up yesterday as we almost closed the gap. We're halfway through and we're trading at 1212. Okay, we gapped up to 1219. Remember, 230, excuse me, not 12. 230 is the high of the year. Let's look at a weekly chart. About 230-ish is the high of the year. And you can see we're making a double top here, which is ominous. Okay, this is not a positive thing. Okay, if this doesn't sustain itself above the 210-ish level, I would really be very concerned that this is maybe topping out here at these levels. Okay, despite what the FOMC, despite what the NFP is going to come out tomorrow. Okay, now across the board, we sold off Microsoft, finally breaking that rally and retracing down to 136 from 140-ish level, but it's not yet clear that the markets are turning themselves. Okay, so with that said, just to have to really expect this and just wait for clues to actually come to you before jumping in. Okay, and with that said, that's something to consider. And lastly, I want to look at Bitcoin just briefly, because Bitcoin hit this Fibonacci retracement down at 93,500 and then bounced to 9,900. Okay, so this is not over for Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting some, momentum from the fact that there's going to be regulation on it, which is a good thing. It's already traded on the CME. So, with all intents and purposes, this may really be a contender sooner than we think, than what we anticipate. So with that said, we are trading at 9,900, and we're trading in this range between 10,000. If we do break above this 10,000 area level, okay, we may see it considerably higher. Okay, so just consider that later today if that does break above the 10,000 area. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.